Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christina. If you're back, welcome back. And today we are doing my May favorites. We're gonna round up what my favorites of the month were. Do I have any misses? I only have 2 misses. This month I did not wear as much makeup as I usually do just because I had a lot of things going on. I had surgery, I had to put my dog down, we went on vacation, so my makeup was pretty minimal. If you're interested to see what I loved last month, what I didn't love last month, just keep on watching. Let's go ahead and start with skincare. I have 3 skincare items. And my first one is a body lotion, which is this one right here. It's called Nivea Essentially Enriched. And I only bought this because Desi Perkins, I'm sure all of you follow her, she's amazing. She recommended this for like really glowy, supple skin, and she says that that's what she's wearing in almost all her pictures when you see her skin just like glowing. And I was like, I want that, and it's so inexpensive. It has almond oil in it, which is what gives you like that nourishing kind of feel. It does feel extremely thick. I've always used Nivea lotions my whole life. I grew up on Nivea products, so I do like Nivea products, and they are rich in general. But this one is a little bit thicker and a little bit greasier to the point where like it does take kind of a lot of work to get it truly soaked in, but it really does nourish and moisturize your skin like nothing else. I was having issues with my skin. That's one of the misses today, and I was getting these like bumps in the back of my arm, and I stopped using that product and just started really hydrating every single time I showered with this, and it's gone. Also, I've noticed that my legs after I shave, they can look super ashy and get kind of, you know, extra dry, and since I've been wearing or using this, that stays at bay. And it says here that it can last up to 24 hours, and I actually do see that it does. The scent is probably not for everybody. It's very fragranced, but it does smell really nice. My husband's also been really enjoying it because he has really, really dry skin, and he loves it. Next skincare product is actually a combo that I like to use together. It's the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer and this Sea Rush Brightening Gel Cream. Both of these together work so well under makeup to prep my skin for extra hydration, and it's the perfect combination for that dewy skin look that everyone is really into right now. That's what I like. So if you're gonna do no makeup, no makeup, or maybe just like a very light coverage foundation, this is an awesome skin prep for you, especially if you have dry skin. I use the Watermelon Glow Moisturizer actually as a hydrating serum. It's kind of how they recommend to use the product on the Sephora page, because I wasn't getting what I wanted from this as a moisturizer. I think if you're oily, this would be amazing as a moisturizer, but for someone that needs more hydration and for texture or more mature skin or just very dry skin, dehydrated skin, I wanted something a little more from this moisturizer. It's very liquidy. It's very liquidy and it's very thin, and it just feels like a serum. It smells like watermelon Jolly Ranchers, which is basically everything my dreams are made of. And it just leaves your skin feeling like it had a big drink of water. But because it's so lightweight, I don't feel like it's everything I need with a moisturizer. I love it as a hydrating serum. So I put this on, let it soak in a little bit, and then I go in with the Ulla Henriksen C Brightening Cream. And this it's so nice. It's more of a thick consistency. It smells like a creamsicle, which just makes me happy. It's very similar to the Banana Bright Eye Cream, if you're familiar with that. It does leave a little bit of stickiness, which does subside if you leave it on your skin, you know, for 20 minutes. It'll definitely go away. But I actually like to put my makeup on while that's still a little tacky. If you want to wear this just when you're not wearing any kind of foundation, it just leaves your skin glowy but not dewy. These together, it's just very like healthy, glowing, radiating skin. Is radiating? Yeah, radiating. Is that a word? I mean, it is a word. I don't want to make it seem like I'm telling you it's going to look like you have radiation. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, it does give you glowy, supple, juicy looking skin. So, love those. Let me go ahead and talk about one of the misses. Since it's skincare and I'm OCD like that, we'll just go ahead and talk about it. And it is this Caress Evenly Gorgeous, what is this? Brown sugar scrub thing. The smell is incredible, like incredible. And it just smells like, I mean, it's so cheesy that they're like fine fragrance, world-class perfume. I don't know about that, but it does actually smell pretty sexy and amazing, and I love that. And so I do like it on my legs, and then throughout the day, like if you rub it, that's the whole point of these, is like if you touch your skin, you kind of smell that again. It reactivates the fragrance kind of. So that is nice. But using this as a scrub like on my body, especially because I really like the scrubs at Bath & Body Works. I haven't gone shopping there in a while, so I was completely out of my scrub, and I was at the grocery store, and so I picked this up. And I thought, surely it'll do the same thing. It's just not scrubby enough. It's not really exfoliating anything. It does leave a little bit of residue, but then the worst thing of all is it created rough and breakouts. Rough texture and breakouts all on the back of my arms. My back broke out like crazy, which I should have known better because it does have, you know, a lot of fragrance in it, and then it's got a lot of oils that aren't super awesome, and then silicones and glycerins and stuff. So it's just, it's $2.33 for a reason. It's just, you know, if you have really tolerant skin, you might really like it because it does smell amazing, and I think my husband could use it and he would never have an issue. But for me, I need it to be scrubbier and not break me out. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my Bath & Body Works scrubs. Not super into that. Before we get into makeup, random little thing is the Invisibobble. It looks like that, kind of like something you'd put your keys in or something, but it's a hair tie, and it just keeps every hair in place. It just, if you have really thick and coarse hair like mine, and you know, all rubber bands just eventually fall, or all your hairs go everywhere, this is incredible. With time, it will stretch out a little bit, but you can put it in hot water or leave it in the sun and it'll shrink back to normal. I love these. The only problem with them is it's 3 of them for $8, and my dog has decided this is her favorite thing to chew on, and I'm on my 3rd pack. Why can't I learn to put them somewhere else? I don't know. One of the products that I've been really loving in the month of May, I didn't use all of May, I actually got it about halfway through the month, and it is the Lancome Skin Feels Good. It's got SPF 23, and it is a skin tint or light coverage foundation. It has a little bit more coverage than I would say a Glossier skin tint. Actually, a lot more coverage than that. So don't be fooled by the name. I know that when you hear a skin tint, it sounds so incredibly sheer, but it is not that sheer. It is sheer, but not that sheer. I love this for no makeup days. It just kind of gives my skin a more perfected, even look. It does a pretty good job of dulling down any redness or discoloration that I have going on, and it doesn't pool in my pores. It doesn't emphasize texture. It looks very, very glowy and dewy. Now, when I say glowy and dewy, I mean if you are oily, you shouldn't wear this unless you just like that. You will look borderline greasy after 4 or 5 hours. This is not long wearing by any means whatsoever. This is more for, you're gonna throw this on, run some errands, and then come home and wash your face, or you know, you're gonna have a pool day or something like that. This is, for me, not something that you would wear for a long day of work. This, for me, is, you know, 4 or 5 hours of wear, and that's okay, because I don't need it to be anything else. It said it was a skin tint, it said it was hydrating, it said it had SPF, and it does everything it promised me, and it looks so good. Like your skin, but better. Skin feels good. Accurate. Just go into it knowing what it is. Don't expect it to be a long-wearing foundation, because it's not. I don't remember if I talked about this. I know that I talked about it in my last video, maybe a few videos ago, and that is going to be the Stellar Primer. It's so good, you guys. It's, oh man, especially mixed with that other skincare that I told you about. It looks like that when you put it on. It's a little tinted, and it does feel like a little bit of silicone feeling to it. It's, if you took the Tatcha Silk canvas and kind of made it into a liquid form, I would say that's what this is, and maybe with like a little bit of brightening properties to it. It does fill in pores, smooth your skin, and it's very similar to the Hourglass Veil Primer, but I actually think I like this better. It keeps me mostly matte all day, even though it's considered a brilliant primer. It does actually reduce my shine and oiliness, and it does prolong the stay of my makeup. So I really love that. So I wanted to quickly mention that one because I don't remember when I talked about it. I have two palettes to mention, and then we're almost done. And the first one is the Smashbox Cali Contour Palette. It looks like that. In the past, I haven't been incredibly crazy about Smashbox powders in general. I actually have a really cool all-in-one palette that they released like 3 years ago that I really enjoy, and I actually like the shadows in there. But every shadow palette that I've used from them, I've returned because I did not like them at all. I don't like their formula. So when I saw this, it drew me in because I love an all-in-one palette, especially a palette, you know, that has a bronzer, a contour, a highlight, and a matte highlight, and a blush. Like, what else could you ask for? I love these kind of palettes, especially when we are getting into summer. And let me tell you, I have not put it down. I've had other face palettes that I was supposed to be testing, but I keep going back to this one. For one, the blush shade, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. It's very flattering. It's like a nude shade. Can you see it a little bit? Well, I don't know. Every single shade in here I've used and I can use. I like to mix the contour and the bronzer together to make a little bit of a less cool tone contour. The only shade that I don't use a ton is this highlight, which is kind of copper right there. My camera's not focusing today no matter what I do, so I don't know what to do, but if you can see it there a little bit, it's a gorgeous all over eyeshadow though. So like I said, I can use every single shade. I can do a full eye look, I can do a full face look and be happy. Gorgeous quality, silky powders. They blend effortlessly, they're buttery, and they're not too pigmented, but they're pigmented enough, you know, to where you see it, but they build really well and also sheer really well. So I think this is an awesome palette. I hope that they stick to this powder formula and release more products like it because it's a hit. The other palette I wanted to talk about is the Persona palette, which is called the Identity palette. It looks like that. Sona from Simply Sona, she's the one that started this brand, and it started with just this palette, and I believe that now they've grown the brand and they have highlighters which look gorgeous, and then something else, I can't remember, gel liners or something like that. I can't remember. This is the only product that I own, and I paid for it myself, and I even paid for it full price, so. This is what the palette looks like. It's absolutely incredible. Every single shade works so well with the other shades. They blend so well. I mean, look at those colors. It is one of the most perfect neutral palettes I've ever owned, just because I don't need to reach for anything else. There is a brow bone highlight. There is a really good blending shade. There's transition shades of different depths. There's mattes, there's shimmers, and the shimmers are so good. My favorite one is Seductive, which I'm wearing on my eyes today, and it's almost like a taupe it pulls a little almost silver, but there is a taupey purple undertone once you see it in person. And this shade Bombshell right here. And then look at this shade Bossy. They perform incredible. This is such an inexpensive palette, and for me, it's actually, if you're familiar with the NARS Loaded palette, it is such a similar formula. I would actually think that they're like the same manufacturer, and this was, I think, $25 cheaper than what the Loaded palette is. There's codes floating around all the time. You can also pick this up at Ulta and use a coupon. It's such a good, I just put fingerprints all over it, which is great. It's such a great palette. I really recommend it, and I don't hear anyone talk about it. I think it was all over Instagram when it first released, and I think it was one of those like, oh, an influencer, you know, made this palette. I didn't buy it because of that, because I knew who Sona was, but I have never watched her, but I've just been incredibly impressed by the actual product of it. And I thought the colors, you know, the colors spoke to me, which is why I wanted to get it. And this shade right here, Fearless, is such an amazing liner shade. I just love it. And it's so refreshing to get a neutral palette that doesn't have a black. I'm never going to use a black shadow, like a full black shadow in its entirety. I'm just not. And I swear they come in every palette, and I just need one. I don't need them in every palette. So I was happy that this came with like a really deep, dark chocolate brown instead of a black. So I love this palette, and it's so sleek and nice. And look, like next to it with the Smashbox one, like how satisfying is that? It's so satisfying. And they're just perfect for travel, because I travel so much, guys. I don't. Last hit of the month is going to be this ultra glossy lip by Shayla in Colourpop, and the color is Neat Freak. And I think I talked about how like I just didn't love the amount of product that's on the wand. I feel like the wand should be bigger so I can get more product, because I feel like I have to dip in a couple times. That is still true, but it is the most flattering and gorgeous, like, I don't know, there's little specks of gold and peach and rose gold, and it's almost like a clear gloss with like a hint of peach. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful with no lipstick. It's beautiful over lipstick. It's one of the best glosses that Colourpop has done. I hope they never stop doing this one. Please never stop. And I just love it. There's not much more to say. It leaves your lips feeling really well, and it doesn't have like a gritty feeling. That's very, very smooth and emollient. Love it. That's it for my hits. I only have one more miss, and that is going to be something that was in my Allure Beauty box. It is the Clay Melting Lip Powder. It looks like that. Here's why I don't like this, okay? It is so messy. You pull it out, there's powder everywhere, and like I just put powder everywhere. The concept of lip powders is interesting, right? It's a powder that with your natural oils and heat of your skin melts into a lipstick. So it just would do this. And then it turns into a lipstick or a lip stain. Like that. It's an interesting concept, but I just am like, who's asking for this product? It's not convenient. It leaves a mess. The powder gets all over on the outside, and it's just every fucking where. And I just don't get it. Like, people are like, oh, a lipstick's not easy enough to use. I want to use a powder that leaves a mess everywhere and residue everywhere. Like, I don't. Sometimes I feel like brands are just trying to be so unique that they forget that people have to actually use these products. And I just don't see anyone clamoring to make a lipstick less easy to use than a lipstick. Like, I've never been like, oh, I wish this lipstick was not a lipstick and was a powder instead. Like, I don't know. I don't know, but you know, maybe I'm not the target audience. but for me, it's just not convenient. It's also incredibly patchy, and it's difficult to go back over the areas because like you don't know what you don't know how much product is on the wand. Like, it's powder. So you're like, you know what I mean? You go over it once and then there's bald spots and you go in there again, but then you have too much powder, so then that spot's darker than the other spot. It's really hard to get it even. It's hard to get in the lines exactly. I will say it does wear beautifully. It's a gorgeous color. This color is Desert Rose. I love the stain it leaves behind, and it does feel really nice and unique on the lips, but for me, it's just not worth the trouble. Even with a lip liner, this is definitely not something you can throw in your purse and like reapply where you are, because you're gonna freaking make a mess. You're gonna make a mess. Or maybe I'm the idiot that's making the mess, but surely there's other idiots out there too. So for me, this was a total fail. And that sucks because I hate to say anything bad about Clay Cosmetics, because their Moonlighter Cushion Highlight, y'all know I'm obsessed with, like absolutely obsessed with. And I tell everyone to buy that. So I want to try more from the brand, and I'm really bummed that this was just not for me. But let me know if this works for you, if you've enjoyed using it, and how you like to use it. And if you are not an idiot and you don't make a mess like I do, and I really am that terrible at anything I do. That's it for my favorites videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this today. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Leave me some comments down below letting me know what your May favorites were, if you liked anything that I picked up, or if you disagree with anything that I have to say about these products, because I like a good little makeup review banter if you are inclined to do it. Just because it doesn't work for me does not mean it won't work for you. And just because I love it doesn't mean you're gonna love it. And that's what makes the world so special. We all have different likes and dislikes. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me the last month with all the filming issues that I've had. You guys have been so incredibly supportive and sweet, and I really, really appreciate every single comment, and that you guys spend any time with me at all. It just means a lot to me. That said, I will see you guys next time. I have a Melt review and first impressions video coming up on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys have a beautiful week. Until next time, bye guys.